Dude,
What's up, man?
dude, the original dude is in the house. Brian, we got the dude in the house.
I'm glad to be here.
We're,
Appreciate it.
yeah, we're gonna go over the you should have been probably the first person we had on the show, but we had to like build up to like your level
Oh
of
my God.
prestige
Yeah.
before you're on here. So I mean, we're here now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so.
Dude, I think we spent more time upstairs drinking than we did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we should have been down here drinking and doing the whole thing.
But we had to warm you up a little bit.
Oh, well, let's hope I still have something in me.
You know what, dude?
I
You will. Yeah, this is good. Thanks for coming on. Brian and I are happy that we got you to come on here.
I appreciate it, man. This is I've never done this, so
Taking the time out.
if I'm a little nervous, but
You nervous?
dude, I get nervous sometimes. I'm only human, even though I'm a dude.
Dude, yeah. I even named my cat after you.
Is that the cat's real name?
Yeah, his cat's name is
Oh
Dude.
my God.
If he goes to the doctor, like, oh, who's Dude? I'm like, that's him. I'm like, the dude. The first day I got him, I'm like, his name's Dude. There's no other name for the cat.
I appreciate that. No, I'm glad to be here. I really am. Fire away, whatever you want to know, whatever you need to. I'm here to have a little bit of fun.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. I said to you years ago, hey, you need your own podcast. Because you're probably one of the naturally most funniest guys I ever met. For any situation, you have something funny crap to say about everything.
Well, I've 62 years old. I've lived a long time, and I've dealt with a lot of things. And some of it has been funny. Some of it hasn't been that funny, but you got to make light of it because at the end of the day, you don't laugh at yourself. You can't laugh at anything else. So, but I'm glad to have because I got a lot of stuff to bring to the table, specifically when it comes to flying.
Oh, you want to jump on a flying now?
Oh, I have
Let's jump
to.
right in. Let's
Because
do some.
I already told you, and I'm going to tell the people that are watching this, when it comes to flying, don't go El Cheapo. I mean, if you're going to go El Cheapo, go Southwest. But
That's cheaper?
Avelo,
Yeah.
please. Avelo is the worst airline ever.
Okay.
They stole my money.
What happened?
I had a trip planned, and you know what? I had a trip planned for June. And it was awesome. Get to Puerto Rico at a reasonable time. Go into my Airbnb. Me and my daughter were planning a trip up there, and the majority of the trip, the main focus of the trip was to go spread some of my mother's ashes in Puerto Rico, bring her home, so to speak. And so that was my primary reason for going up there. Even though I was born in Puerto Rico, I didn't grow up in Puerto Rico, and I hadn't been to Puerto Rico since 1994 when my grandfather passed away. But, I was looking forward to it. So at work, talking to some of the people that love to travel, like Fleeton and Torres. And so Fleeton brings up Avelo, blah, 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 cheap, you pay for this, you pay for that. Okay, so I went, and it was not as cheap as Southwest.
It's too mainstream now. They got too big.
So, first of all, they fly to Puerto Rico, but they don't fly from Bradley to Puerto Rico. And now, from what I understand, they're not even at Bradley anymore.
Oh, they're all New Haven?
Yeah, they're all out in New Haven now.
That's the entire.
Yeah, and I heard Spirit is also not
Really?
Yeah, but
I would never fly Spirit again.
I would never go to Spirit. Period. Even though when I actually did go to Puerto Rico, the line for Spirit was outrageous. People were just. I guess people love it.
Yeah.
I guess the prices, But first, they screwed up my plans. They changed my flight plans. So Well, no. Let me retrace that. I buy the tickets to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay. And I talked to Torres about it. And Torres gave me a scare like you wouldn't believe about the whole Avelo thing. And he wasn't the only one. So I was like, you know what? Screw that. I don't want to go through Avelo. So I went home that afternoon and I canceled my plans through Avelo. But apparently it was too late.
How long do you have?
I guess you only have like 24 hours to cancel.
That makes sense.
But I didn't think it was the full 24 hours. Apparently it was. So they give me Avelo dollars.
Oh.
Like, what the hell am I going to do with Avelo dollars?
The reason why I'm canceling because I don't like you.
So they're like, Avelo dollars, you can, and you only have a year to spend these Avelo dollars.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, so I'm screwed. I'm stuck with them. So I rebooked my flight to August. Again, they screwed up my plans.
Through Avelo?
Yeah, through Avelo. So this time I decided I'm going to keep it. August comes and I'm ready to go. And, I had everything planned. I'm ready to go. And I get there and I've never been there. I mean, it's a small...
I don't even know where it is in New Haven.
Oh, it's this little, like, wooden building.
Really?
And you park and then you got to walk there. And probably the smallest airport I've ever seen.
Huh.
And I get there and I go to where they take your luggage.
Yeah.
And the doors are locked. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I'm banging on. There's a guy inside and he's locking the doors. And I'm banging on the door and I go around and he's like, we're closed. And I'm like, so what am I supposed to do with my luggage? And he's like, you're going to have somebody pick them up for you. Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who the hell's going to pick? And what am I going to take to Puerto Rico?
That doesn't make any sense.
So I go to inside because the plane is about to leave. So I go inside and they're telling me either get on or get off. Or stay off.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what about your stuff?
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get on the plane.
What the hell?
So because I couldn't get on the plane, they charged me, I don't know how much money they charged me for not taking the flight. And so I lost a good chunk of my money at that point. And I missed my flight. So now my daughter's like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, I'm not going back to work on Tuesday and let everybody know that, I didn't go.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to come down on me about this. And the shit that goes on at work with me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm going to Puerto Rico. So, I had to spend more money. And I just, Avelo sucks. Just don't take it.
Who'd you fly out with?
Southwest. I wound up going with Southwest.
They got rid of the pick your seat whole thing now, right? It used to be pick your seat, and now they stopped doing that.
Yep, they stopped doing that shit.
I love that.
Now you got to buy your seat.
Dude, pick your seat was great. You grab the aisle seat. Nobody wants the aisle seat.
Well,
You're great.
Pick your seat, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Brian, did you ever fly Southwest?
No, I've only been on Delta years ago.
Delta's a shit though. Delta is nice.
Delta's like money.
Yeah, in the Army, I flew Delta all the time. That's all we flew. Where'd you go, Brian?
This was Orlando, fucking in my early 20s.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think you don't fly often.
No, I don't.
I don't blame you though.
So Brian agreed. So the guy Derek, who was on like episode 4, he flies. He's an instructor.
Okay.
Brian agreed to go on the plane. Brian's like, wait, how big is that plane? It's like, there's 4. I'm like, there's 4 of us in it. He's like, that's it.
Yeah, He's literally like, as he's describing the plane, it sounds like it's a small coffin.
It's like a Honda Civic with wings.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't.
Back to you on that, though.
I can't. I cannot fly small planes. I will never do. Will never do that. I'm sorry. Too many problems with those flights, and look how many celebrities have died on planes. It's just ridiculous. And I'm not a celebrity, so I'll probably just like die quick, fast, in a hurry. So forget that. No, I've done Southwest for a while. I mean, they're relatively cheap. Not as cheap as, Avelo and them, although to be honest with you, when you buy your plane ticket and then your seat and then how much luggage you're bringing in, and Avelo, and that's another thing that Southwest stopped doing. One free bag or two free bags.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit anymore.
Not that you pay for everything?
Now you have to pay for everything. And
you usually get like a backpack and a carry-on.
Yeah, that's it. But you still get that. But
okay.
A bag or whatever, if your carry-on is your bag, that. But anything else, boom, you gotta pay for it. And I mean, listen, I wanted to go. It was time.
You had to go.
I had to go.
You're gonna get so much shit if you didn't go.
That and the fact that it's getting to the holidays, and vacation time during the holidays is hard to get, especially at work. So I'm like, no, we're gonna go. I'm not gonna go back to work on Tuesday. So we wound up going, and it was okay. Although that first flight was rocky. I think I texted you. I almost had a this is it moment.
What is it? Let's dive into the this is it.
This is it.
Where were you going?
I was going to Florida.
You were going to Florida and you had the this is it moment?
Oh, when
I thought you were going to like Texas or some shit.
Wasn't Texas? No, it was Florida. It was actually Florida. I was going to go visit my mother. Me, my sister, and my daughter were flying to Florida. Now, obviously, when you fly Southwest, the reason it's cheap is because they do the dumbest things. Florida's this way, but when you fly Southwest, you go this way, then this way, and then this way.
Oh, they kind of because of the hubs or whatever.
So they were flying. I want to say Indianapolis.
The hell, you went west? That far west to go south?
Yo, but that's what the price you pay for cheap. And the weather was really bad.
Yeah.
And the
that's what Brian wants to hear, more horror stories of weather in the
yo,
plane.
let me tell you something. The captain, and I am scared to death of flying. I'm scared to death of heights, and I hate it. I really do. And the captain said, we're gonna have some, rough weather, blah blah blah, and we're experiencing turbulence, and of course, this is me, and I'm like, oh, I'm really nervous, and my sister's next to me, and she's in the middle seat, and she's like, oh man, and my daughter's in the window seat, and of course, she's got earplugs on. She's like, like
not even a care in the world.
Not a care in the world. And all of a sudden, we dipped.
Oh.
And my heart, and I yelled, God, this is embarrassing. I yelled, this is it. Because I thought we were going to die. And I think the first person I told that to was Jamie. And I swear to God, I shouldn't have never told her.
Because they got around.
They got around. We have the smallest grapevine at work. I swear to God. And to this day, nobody lets me forget it.
No.
And it's actually used
often. Yeah, same with Dude. Dude, this is it.
Dude started when we first met, when we first started.
How did Dude originate?
It was just, listen, and I don't want to make this a racial thing, because
now I'm in.
no, I'm obviously Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Puerto Ricans don't normally back then didn't normally say dude.
Yeah,
but then I started working. I started working at Stop and Shop, and I worked with a lot of white guys.
What's the
And
Puerto Rican equivalent to dude?
that's a good question, dude.
Yeah, so what would you say? I mean,
well, dude is basically a man, which is hombre, but they wouldn't say hombre. That's kind of
What's this? What is this slang?
I mean, say bro. Yo, bro, ¿cómo está? Brother. But we never said, dude or guy. You remember guy?
Yeah. What up, guy?
What up, guy?
Hey, guy.
My dad hated because I had that thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't bring it to this job. But
hey there, guy. It's almost like an insult.
What's
hey
up,
there, guy. It's like you stress it at the
and
end.
I say it once in a while now. Hey, what up, guy? But no, dude was the thing. And it just stuck with me for throughout the years, even after I left Stop and Shop.
Damn, it started back then. The dude,
yeah.
the dude, yeah.
Dude started a long time ago, and I met you guys at work, and when we first started, and that's what I call my friends. Hey, what up, dude?
Dude. But it's almost like shit's like, dude, like you stretch it, like
but you started the dude thing. Every time I saw you, dude. Dude, what up?
Like if you said anybody in like ESPN, you say, "Yeah, dude." Like, oh yeah, I know, dude.
Oh yeah, everybody.
No one knows your
yeah,
name. It's just dude.
Everybody knows dude now.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of proud of it a little bit. At least I'm known for something.
Yeah, it's funny as shit.
And I got maybe 4 or 5 years left. And once I retire, people say, "You remember the guy, dude?"
Yeah.
And it would be nice. It would be nice to be remembered for something.
I think you're gonna be remembered for a lot besides knowing dude.
I just want to know what people are gonna do when I'm not around. Who are they gonna pick on?
That's true.
Because, but I listen, 15 years and strong, and I love working there, and a bunch of great coworkers. You're obviously one of them. We started together. And,
yeah, same academy.
And it's been great, I've worked all 3 shifts, which, gotten to know other people other than the people that I started with. Even though there's 48 of us left after 90 something were hired.
God, is only that many left?
Yeah, there's not that many left.
It's crazy, dude.
That's not that many left, but some people went about their business doing what they had to do. And
we were all, I mean, besides like you, like a lot of us were. I was 25 when I got hired.
Oh shit! I
could have a lot of us just took off right away.
I was an old man when I was hired, and I'm still an old man.
An older man.
Oh my God! I was what? We started. We started in 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
60. Well, back then I thought I was born in 62. So,
what year were you born in?
I was actually born in 63. You didn't know about that?
No.
Come on.
You're born in the wrong year where you get the wrong documents.
Listen, growing up.
So where'd you grow up? You grew up in Puerto Rico?
No. I was born in Puerto Rico. I lived in Puerto Rico till I was about 4 years old. And then my mother sent for me. She was living in New York. And I went to New York. First time I flew, and I knew I hated it.
Did you say this is it too?
I probably did in Spanish.
How would you say in Spanish?
Let me tell you something. I remember a little bit of stuff that happened that.
Did you fly by yourself at 4 years old?
No.
Okay.
No. My cousin Julie.
Sorry, I had to ask that right away.
No, my cousin Julie. It's. Oh God, I am not one of these people that loves family or whatever, but I had a crush on my cousin Julie.
What?
My cousin Julie was probably the best looking family member that I've had.
I can relate to that. I'm sure Brian will give me a side eye, but We got some family members too that are.
My cousin Julie. Ooh, I haven't seen my cousin Julie in a long time, and if she's alive, more power to her. If she's dead, because she was a lot older than I was.
Oh, you got to think for older women.
Oh, I knew I was gonna be in the right spot growing up.
So where'd you move to in New York?
Coney Island.
Coney Island, Brooklyn.
The big Coney, Brooklyn. Yeah, part of Brooklyn.
What are those hot dogs like?
I actually.
You ever had a real Coney dog?
I never even been to Coney Island.
I remember Coney from back in the 70s, man, when it was really Coney.
I was gonna say, it used to look pretty epic back in the day.
Yeah,
Was all mafia there too?
Oh, yeah, there was mafia. I was scared actually of the mafia. You'd see it on TV, you'd read about it.
That's crazy, dude.
And there was a lot of shit going on, man. I've seen a lot when I was a kid living on 15th Street in Coney Island. There was always something going on the street. I saw a guy get stabbed, even though my mother's like running me inside the house, and I'm like, oh man, I want to watch this.
At the Bronx Tale, I want to see it.
But yeah, it was.
Did you live in an Italian neighborhood? You live in a Spanish neighborhood?
Well, okay. 15th Street was mostly all Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
16th Street was half Puerto Rican, half Italian, with a little mixture of Italians and Puerto Ricans on either side. But Italians, they don't get along too well with minorities. And Puerto Ricans will be like, whatever. You don't like us, we don't like you. But I got chased on the Italian side because I had to go to the store, and the quickest way was to pass through the Italian side. And I was going around, and my grandfather, who was staying with us, was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going to the store." And he's like, "The store's that way." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way." He's like, "No, you're going that way." And sure enough, I walked through, and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden, all these dudes and I'm running. But when I came home, I ran the other way.
You went the long way?
I went the long way. I don't care, because I ain't getting my ass whooped or anybody.
That's crazy. Like, it's like your neighborhood and you just stayed there.
But there was an Italian guy across the street from my house, and he was cool. And he would give me hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Which, I didn't have any money. My family was on state aid and shit like that. And he actually gave me a pair of those old big high heels for dudes. I forgot what they're called.
Like platforms?
Platform shoes. These big platform
What are you,
shoes.
fucking Prince?
Yo. I'm walking around in these things, and my aunt is looking at me like, "Get the hell out!"
You had bell bottoms on too?
Yes.
Okay,
Bell bottoms, yo. That was back then, bell bottoms.
I want to see a picture of you in bell bottoms.
No, you don't, because you never will, because I would never.
And you had hair too.
Oh, I had a lot of big ass afro, bro. Come on now. This is just now, because I got tired of going to the barbershop. It costs a lot of money.
I know.
So this is because I want to, not because I can grow my hair. It's funny because I didn't start shaving my head until I was in my mid-30s. I don't know, midlife crisis or something. I woke up my birthday, March 26th. I forgot what year it was. It was in the 90s sometime, yo. It was in the 90s. I don't know, 95, 96, maybe 97, 97. 90, no, actually, 98. I do remember.
98.
98.
The 90s, dude.
Okay, so I wake up, my birthday, 98. And at that time, if I go by my date of birth that I had at the time, which was 1962, I was 62, 72, 82, 92, 36. Okay? That's how I do math. Still with my fingers. And I woke up and I went to the bathroom, obviously, and brushed my teeth, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, I got to change something here. And I said, you know what?
You're going to scalp yourself?
I just shaved my head off. Shaved all my hair off.
And never turned back?
No, I did. I go into my brother and my sister are in the kitchen. And I left the bathroom. I was in the bathroom taking a shower and shaving and whatever. And I was in there for like an hour. And I finally come out. And my sister and my brother look at me like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, it's time for a change. And I looked at myself and I'm like, I don't look too bad. And, went through the day doing my thing because I was off that day. And my kids were in school. And the one person that had the best reaction was my daughter. And if you're talking about when somebody says my jaw dropped, her jaw literally.
Did you have like crazy hair down to?
Well, no, I had short hair. I mean, that was back when the fades and
so like this.
Yeah. So I had like a fade, but this time I just shaved it all off. And the kids were coming. I was hanging up some curtains or doing something with some curtains, and door opens and I look to the side and my daughter looks at me and she goes, but I mean, like, wow. And she runs down the stairs. She just came upstairs. She runs down the stairs and she's screaming, Daddy shaved his head. Daddy shaved his head. And I started cracking up because what else are you going to do? And then I went to work. 2 days later, I went to work and people were looking, my coworkers are like, what the fuck? And some of them were like, that looks nice, not too bad. Some of them, snickered a little bit, whatever.
Of course.
And even my boss was like, you look nice in it. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you very much. And, I did it for about a month. And then I grew it back.
Oh, okay. So you didn't stay like that till now. You just grew it back too?
No, here's what happened. I cut it off, 98. Grew it back. I had it till like 2003, maybe.
We survived Y2K.
Yes, I survived Y2K. I was on call. I was working at Stop and Shop, and I was on call because they said if what was supposed to happen happens, you have to go to work. You have to go to the nearest store, which for me was Wethersfield. And
where'd you live at the time?
I lived in Hartford on Brownell Avenue in Hartford, right off of Washington. I don't know if you know anything about Hartford.
Yeah, Washington. By the hospital.
Yeah, by Hartford Hospital, and so Wethersfield was my closest store, and I was a senior detective. West Hartford was one of my stores that I covered, and so But I was at a friend's house. We were partying. It was New Year's Eve.
Oh, it was New Year's. Oh yeah.
And I would have went to work drunk. I don't care. So I was hoping to God that nothing would happen. Nothing happened, obviously. But just after that, later, me and my wife split, and me and my daughter went to go live in East Hartford, and I decided, what the hell, shave. So I shaved it again, and another month or two later, I let it grow. And then I forgot what year it was, but I shaved it. And then I was just letting it grow. And then I look in the mirror after like a few weeks, and I'm like, what's going on? It's not growing up here.
Oh, shit.
It was growing up here.
You getting the old Larry Fine going on.
Larry Fine, George Costanza. Yeah. No, I was like, oh, my God, I'm going bald.
You cut it too many times.
And, I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to have that cut. I swear to God, I'm not going to have that cut.
I feel like a lot of guys have it. It's just right here. It's like right in front, dude.
Screw that. The thing is that I never knew my biological father. So I didn't know, if he was bald or
any kind of traits.
There was no baldness in my mother's side of the family. My grandfather died with a full head of hair.
Yeah,
it was gray as shit, but it was a full head of hair.
that's crazy.
But at that point, I just let it. So I shaved all. I hate shaving. I tried. I shaved last night, and I hadn't shaved since last weekend. So I let it run, and then
get all prickly.
yeah, because it's just like I get tired of shaving. My daughter, I ask her once in a while when I don't feel like doing it, but I want to do it, and I ask her if she can shave it for me. And she does a pretty good job, but she doesn't want to do it all the time either. I don't blame her. She's not a barber.
You got one of those Norelco head shavers things?
I have. I have 3.
They contour to the skull, though.
I have 3 head shavers. I have
You got a variety.
Yeah. I have the skull, which came out a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, it was a popular.
$70 for that damn thing.
My buddy Jeff's got one of those.
And
I think it's skull.
I have the little what is it? I forgot the name of it. It starts with a B, but it's another one. It's almost like the skull, but it's smaller. And then I have this razor that my ex-girlfriend, she's a hairdresser, and she bought this $50, and it does a really good job. But you're supposed to do it every day.
Yeah.
I'm lazy, yo. I'm lazy. I ain't doing this every day. So I wind up having to shave with a razor, and I use the Gillette five blade system, and it's great. But
you ever use the Harry's ones?
I tried Harry's once because they sell it at Walmart.
Yeah,
and I didn't really like it.
It doesn't tell you when the blade is getting dull. Like the Gillette ones, like it starts thinning out on top.
Yeah, on top. I still use it.
Oh, it starts ripping my face apart. Just start bleeding.
Oh my God! You know what was worse is the Bics.
Oh, Bics, yeah.
And
the disposable ones.
The ones with the little yellow thing.
Like the dude from Predator, and he's holding it, and he snaps it, and he starts bleeding.
God, yo, Bics were the worst. And Bic had a promotion back in the 80s where you pay for $1 for 2 razors or some shit like that. But when you shave with it, it just cuts you. And it was only one blade.
Oh, yeah.
Bic made too much shit. I remember the I have a flick of my Bic, the
lighters
commercial. Yeah, that came a little bit too close to the wrong word. But that was how they got.
I say that's good marketing shit.
Yeah. Well, back then,
like your Bic, yeah.
That it is back then. Like any TV now is just completely different, obviously, from when I was a kid.
Yeah. They got away with a lot more stuff back then.
But they didn't show a lot.
Okay.
Like if a guy was in the toilet, they wouldn't show the toilet, but you could hear the toilet flush. And then they'd be like, "Oh, okay. I know where he is."
I want to speak about a toilet real quick. So Coney Island, your ex-girlfriend, right, went to Coney Island and she FaceTimed you and you did a Facebook Live. You remember that? So Brian, he was Facebook Live, no shirt on, in this room, which I discovered to be he was taking a shit. And he tried to deny. I'm like, dude, there's a shower curtain right there. You remember that? Margie was at Coney Island?
I remember that. Oh my God. Listen, people have accidents. What are you gonna do? Did I show you that?
No, it was live, so I watched it over and over.
Oh my God. Was I drunk?
Dude, at like 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe. I don't know.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, I remember that. Was I in Coney Island? I don't know.
No, you weren't. You were on a toilet at your house.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, she wasn't in Coney Island.
Where was she? I thought she was at Coney Island.
She was in
Was that some amusement park?
She was in what do you call it? Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
She went to the Jersey Shore that weekend.
I've never been there.
I haven't either. We had thought about all of us going together, but obviously we broke up before that. But I've been wanting to go because, unfortunately, between her and my daughter, they dragged me into watching that stupid show.
Yeah.
And I used to tell you, you look like, what's his name?
Vinny.
Yeah.
That's why with Martins, he'd be Paulie D. And
there you go. You guys.
Yeah, we had the whole Jersey Shore, Ed Hardy going on.
Yeah, yo.
I think I have a picture somewhere. I got to find it of all of us in Hartford wearing all the Ed Hardy stuff, looking like Jersey Shore.
My God, you guys would have been great at the Brickyard.
Yeah, that was still going at the time. Now everything's gone.
It's all gone.
Everything's gone.
No, I had a bunch of the bouncers were friends of mine at the Brickyard. I had carte blanche there because, a lot of my friends, three of them worked at Stop and Shop with me.
Oh, did part-time bouncing?
And they did part-time bouncing.
And they pay good money because
and so if anybody, tried any shit, they would tell me, if anybody tries any shit, let me know. Let us know, and they would just drag him the hell out of there. And these guys were bruisers, man.
Yeah.
Two of them, the Griffin brothers, were their dad was a state trooper. He was a big dude himself. He was a state trooper for 20-something, almost 30 years. He was a major when he retired, and I don't know, some shit happened he was out in by the casinos, and something happened, and he had to retire. I don't want to get involved in that but the Griffin, Nick Griffin, was a good friend of mine. Great guy. He was big time bodybuilder. He was like all muscles.
It's like Derek Poundstone from like Waterbury, right? Is it from Waterbury? Derek Poundstone?
I don't know who he is, but
he's a power lifter. He was a cop too.
Oh, okay, yeah, but
I think he still is a cop, but just massive dude.
Nick, and he had that accent, that thick American Italian accent.
Yep.
And he got married, and they went to Italy for their honeymoon. And when he came back, he had a ton of stories to tell, and he was just like, And then he actually got into the state police.
Oh,
he's a sergeant. I don't know what troop he's out of, but he lives in Bristol. I don't see him that often anymore. I used to see him at Stop and Shop a lot down the street from my house. But no, he's a great guy, and it took him a while to get in, and he thought that people hated his dad because his dad was a tough ass dude.
Yeah.
And if you look at a picture of his dad, you'd be like, that dude stopped me, I'd be scared as shit.
It's like Lopez stopping. He's just,
oh my God, Lopez stops, forget it.
This is a monster dude. Like, there's no way this guy's human, dude.
I don't even want Lopez to stop me now.
I know, and I know him. He's scared me. I used to work on his house.
I hit his Audi. Remember his Audi that he had?
Yeah, the black Audi. Yeah.
I hit that, and he wasn't too happy. But he got paid obviously by the insurance company. But
Brian, this guy was huge. Yeah. This guy would smoke a pack of cigarettes a day.
And
run like 5-minute miles.
Jesus.
He was
fuck does that work out?
He was an animal, dude.
He was a beast.
Yeah, Ryan Lopez, dude. If he pulled you over, like, you better behave because he's gonna one hand pull you out of the car.
I don't know how he fits in a cruiser.
Yeah, he's like what, 6'5"?
Yeah, he's
6'6".
He's a tall dude and he's big. He was a Marine.
Yeah. He was during the Iraqi invasion. He was there.
Oh shit.
Yo, let me tell you something. If this dude says anything, I don't want to say too much, but runs into a real Marine like
Lopez.
Lopez.
And he never talks about it. Never brought it up
at all. Never brought it up.
Unless you ask him something, he won't. Not gonna go and brag about his history. And he was in the war. He was never gonna tell you nothing.
And he's having a great life. He's
got a kid now.
Dad. He's a dad. Yeah, he's married. He's a dad, and yeah, he's cool as hell. Lopez was always cool. He was quiet.
Yeah,
he didn't really talk a lot. But I mean, we all had a great time on our shift, on second shift back in the day.
Yeah, Oliver too.
Oliver, yeah.
I play hockey with Oliver. I see Oliver all the time.
Is he still?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so he's not on the road anymore. He's working investigations now.
Oh, okay, that's good for him. The last time I saw Oliver, he bought my PS4.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the one that Joe was supposed to buy and cried like a baby. I met him at North Campus, and I brought him the PS4. He gives me the money. He doesn't know if he really wants to buy it. I get in my vehicle.
Oh, the flim flam.
And I'm driving away, and I'm looking at the rear view, and he's looking at me like all sad. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to take this dude's money.
It's like, oh, I can't feed my kid this week.
And so I went back, and I'm like, here, give me back. Here's your money. Give me back the PlayStation. And I sold it to Oliver. Oliver came and bought it. Joe's a crack up though.
Yeah, he cracks me up.
But I tell you, when that dude gets mad, he gets mad.
Yeah, he gets mad. Yeah. I've seen him get mad a couple times. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, I pissed him off the anniversary's coming up sooner than I want to. I was his relief for Thanksgiving Day, and Torres was S12 on Thanksgiving Day. Torres wasn't a supervisor then. And this is about a year or two after we got the GOC.
Yep.
And he was at 14B. And I was Relief 1. Back then, Relief 1 relieved 14B. And so I was, after roll call, I just chilled in 15. And me and Torres were just chit-chatting, and then Torres was like, you want to go get something to eat? So I'm like, yeah, it was almost 10 o'clock. So we went. I hadn't given nobody a break. Oh, my God, I feel so bad thinking about it now. And, Joe, if you watch this, listen, again, I apologize, and I don't want to bring it up, but, yeah, I went with Torres we went to not the deli, whatchamacallit, the little
Uncle Sam's?
Not the other one, down heading towards Southington, the diner.
Is it still there?
Yeah, the diner that's still there, not across the street. That one, that was a dump.
Yeah.
The one down the street, oh God, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, we went and got breakfast, and then after I ate, I went to go give people their breaks. And Joe was really pissed. I got there, and he didn't say shit. He just stormed out, and we talked about it afterwards. And oh yeah, he was ripped. I was like, oh my God. And he's right. I should have. And of course, I have this argument with Lombardi the other day about that. And that's obviously, you're a relief guy. You're supposed to check on your people, and I didn't. I expected them to call me.
Yeah.
And obviously, not a lot of people want to, put you out there. And I need a break. Although I wouldn't. I'll do it. I need a break.
Sometimes you got to go.
Sometimes you got to go. And, I've done it. I called command post once from building 1.
I've done that.
And I told Torres, I said, yo, I got to go, man. And Torres was like, go ahead, just go. I don't have anybody to send you. Just go. I'll keep an eye out.
I've called and said, I'm going to shit my pants if I don't go out. I was just up. I didn't get more. I'm like, I'm going. I'm not going to make it.
Oh, my God.
Get the bubble guts, dude?
Oh, my God. You're in trouble.
Yeah,
You're in trouble.
That countdown's starting, dude. You gotta. You don't have time to react. Like, I'm gonna go now.
No, it was when it's time to go, it's time to go. And yeah, I've had quite a few accidents at work. Enough already. I don't want to discuss them, but
Well, like shitting yourself or like.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like I said, I'm not gonna mention dates or times or anything. Just gonna leave it alone because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a few people watching this from work, and I'm gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is making me really nervous now because
Able to salvage the underwear?
I never salvage the underwear when it comes to that.
It's just a loss, dude.
Take the L for the day.
Yeah.
Get it.
Let me tell you something. I told you I wanted to tell you something about what's the name of that bourbon? Duck.
Oh, fighting cock?
Wild
Turkey?
Wild turkey. I went to meet a friend of mine. He worked at City Place in Hartford.
Oh yeah.
And there's a nice little restaurant in there, and he did security there, and of course he was off shift, and he asked me to meet him there, so we went there and we were having a few drinks. Cool dude, and he wanted to do a couple of shots of wild turkey, and I'd never had wild turkey. To that point, the easiest whiskey I had to that point was Canadian Club.
Oh, not much better.
So
I'll drink it though. It's cheap.
Well, I mean, I drank it, but I drank it with Coke or Diet Coke or whatever. But he just wanted to do he actually wanted to do a flaming shot because you could light that shit up.
Really?
Yeah, but don't spill it on your clothes, or you're gonna have to cancel Christmas. But I was like, nah, I ain't with the fire. I'll just do it. And it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
I did 2 shots of that, and I was drinking beers, and I was totally, totally wasted. And it was still like, the night was still young. It wasn't even a weekend. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday.
It's like the nights clubbing with Brian back in when we used to work at the club.
Oh.
Every night just going drinking.
Oh, man. Yeah, back in the day, I used to do the same thing.
Yeah, working at the club, those were...
I would work there. I'd bring Brian in and just drink all night.
I was unemployed at the time, too. So it's like, hey, you want to come to work with me? Okay. You're like half an hour before your shift.
Yep.
And this is this bouncer. Make sure you tip him.
Yep. And you just drink all night for like $20. $20 off the rip. And you get drinks all night.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known you back then.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a setup, right?
Yeah.
I used to drink almost every day, yo. Almost every day was because they had different nights for everything. Monday was probably the only day that we actually, took off. But then you had Tuesday, which was like you'd go to a nice bar and it'd be a nice club, and of course, you'd have females there, And then Wednesday was another night to drink, and Thursday was college night, and then Friday was the weekend. Friday
and Saturday and Sunday.
And then Sunday you had football or whatever, and so you went to work, you went to watch football to a sports bar, and you drink. I got kicked out of Rookies.
What the fuck?
For doing what?
Because we were watching
all the time.
Yeah, Rookies is a staple name here.
Well,
yeah.
Before it was
They
Rookies.
had the pool tables.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before it was Rookies, it was a bar named oh my God, I can't remember the name, but it was just a regular bar. And they used to play music. They used to play good music. And
If a band or is it?
No, just regular. And on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, it was like club music.
Yeah.
Hip hop, R&B, and all that. The brothers took over. The brothers took over, bro. Yo.
I mean, when you say the brothers, I mean,
Oh, the brothers, the Middletown brothers.
Okay.
They took over that spot big time, and I don't have a problem because I like brothers.
Friday nights at Club Blue were
Yeah.
packed with the brothers.
The brothers too. Yeah,
Yep.
that was.
Yep.
Tell me,
It was Jamaican night every Friday.
Jamaican was in the blue bar or the B bar where I worked,
B-room.
and then you had all the drug dealers from the North End and the South End would party in there. So you had every gang, every drug dealer from Hartford in that club.
And yo, let me tell you something. Ashley's Cafe.
I don't remember that at all, dude.
Rookies was Ashley's
Was
Cafe.
X-Spec still there?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we would work like sometimes our senior detective meetings when I worked at Stop and Shop were in Cromwell, because that's my boss would love working out of the Cromwell store. So we would have these senior detective meetings, and at the end of the meetings, she would tell us to go home, pay ourselves, go home, and no problem. So we would go to Ashley's, have a good time, stay there till closing sometime.
When did it close back then?
I don't remember when Ashley's closed because we stopped going for a while. And then when we went back, eventually one night, me and my buddy, my best friend, went there one night after partying, and we saw that they changed. The name was changed. It was called Ashley's. I mean, it was called Rookies. And so we went in there, and it looked nice. A lot of pool tables, and it had been
It was a big place.
Completely redone. Yes, they remodeled the entire place. The owner was a dick, though. And one Sunday, we were there watching football. Now, of course, I'm a Rams fan. And back then, the Rams sucked. So,
What do you mean back then?
Back in the 90s. Shut up. They don't suck now, buddy. Anyway, so I used to have to watch the Rams in this little ass screen TV. Everybody's watching the Cowboys. Were big back then.
Yeah.
And, the Cowboys were on the big screens. And
you see Troy Aikman right over there? That signed Troy Aikman right there on the. That's right. He's over next to the candle.
Oh yeah. I love Troy Aikman. Don't I have a little little statuette. No, not a bobblehead, but a little statuette of Troy Aikman that I because I like Troy Aikman.
I do too. Yeah.
I hated him when he was in the Cowboys because I hated the Cowboys. But I still do. There you go, Rios and Torres and whoever watches this. But we were in there that Sunday, and of course the Rams were losing. I was bored, and I had my eye drops because I had contacts on back then, and I started spraying this bulletin board with my contact lenses stuff. And all of a sudden, the owner comes up to me. He's like, "You're out of here," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You're out of here." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "You're damaging the our property." And I'm like, "I just sprayed a little of this saline shit. It's gonna dry, and it's not gonna, He kicked me out. I always had a feeling that he was kind of like a racist anyway.
Yeah.
I went there after a hockey game, after a Whaler game.
Oh, the Whalers.
Okay, so I'm wearing my Whaler jersey, and this was back when in the 90s when, I guess, hockey jerseys became a thing in the hood. So
jerseys all together?
Yeah, the big time hockey jerseys. So, we went to let's go to Rookies after the game.
Yeah.
So we went to Rookies. They wouldn't let me in.
With a hockey jersey on?
You have to take the jersey off. We don't allow hockey jerseys. I'm like, wait, this is a sports bar, isn't it? And my buddy's like, come on, man, take the jersey off. I'm like, no. I don't have anything underneath this. What am I gonna, I'm like, no, I'm not going.
Was a jersey considered like a gang thing?
Yeah.
What the hell? What?
And I'm like, get the hell out of here. I was like, forget it. So I just went home and didn't go back there. And when I went back there, again it changed. Now it's what the hell is it now? Chicago Sam's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the only Chicago Sam's that I had been to was the one in Enfield. And but then became Chicago Sam's. And I went there a couple times, And then they have live bands, or they had live bands back in. I haven't been there in a minute, so
I haven't been there since Rookies.
Yeah, I stopped partying in Cromwell. I used to party in Cromwell. Used to party in Middletown.
Because we're right off the highway.
Yeah, and like I said, I worked at Stop and Shop. We had stores all over.
And that store is right there. The Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop is right around the corner, and it was fun. We had a good time, but a lot of fights. It turned into a lot of fights, and I'm not a big fighter, so I don't like getting involved in fighting and stuff unless somebody attacks me or attacks a member of my family or a friend or whatever. But I try to avoid that shit because jail is not for me.
No, I have 2 funny rookie stories. Quick, so on leave in basic training, I come home. I end up going out with a couple friends to Rookies, and I think I was getting married at that time too, or getting really close to it. And we go there, we're all drunk. His brother's there, and I decided that I'm going to do handstand push-ups because I'm shit-faced on the dance floor. I slip, fall on my shoulder, and I tore my AC joint. So, actually, it wasn't during basic. It was right before airborne school. And 2 weeks after that, I had to go to jump school. I couldn't move my arm. So I had to go see my chiropractor and a bunch of doctors to get my arm to move so I can go to the school. And mind you, that was awful. Like I could barely do any push-ups. I had to do 41 of them. And I just made it. I can just barely do pull-ups. I was in excruciating pain. Because it's just a little tendon that you tear.
Yeah.
That just freezes your whole shoulder up.
Yeah.
This shoulder has been through a lot.
I've had shoulder surgeries myself. Yeah. Not because of that, but
yeah, it was stupid. I think I was with. Remember Justin Chaney?
Yeah, I remember.
I was with his brother Jason, or Jesse, the little one.
Oh,
Jesse,
the one that didn't work with us.
Yeah, I went to jump school with him. And the other story was we rode our motorcycles there. So I rode with this Polish dude and a bunch of Polish dudes from New Britain. And one decided that he wanted to get really drunk and run. So we parked next to the bar. There's a little cutout in between. We pull the bikes inside there. So after a couple of drinks, I stopped drinking because I know I'm on the motorcycle. I'm like, that's crazy. Well, he was belligerent, dude. So he decides that he's going to do a rolling burnout in front of Rookies. Well, he started it, and the wheel caught traction. Dude, the bike went sideways. He catapulted off this thing. Smashed his headlight out. I was carrying his headlight on the highway home as he was limping this thing. So instead of going to the hospital or home, we go to this bar on West Main Street.
Oh, my God.
Brian, what's the name of the bar? It's by the bridge on West Main Street. It used to be there. So it used to be like at the bridges you go up. It's to the right, but it went down. It was like a little cutout down there. In New Britain. Next to Taco Bell.
A bar in New Britain.
Next to Taco Bell?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's the old Taco Bell. It was right before.
Where the Popeyes is?
Yeah, where the Popeyes is. Right before that.
They were selling ecstasy.
Oh, good.
That's where they got closed down. Yo, I don't remember the name, though. I remember the bar.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was right there.
I think eventually it burned down.
Is that West Main Street?
That burned down?
After it closed.
Is that West Main Street?
Yeah. And we went there. He kept drinking because he had to numb the pain that he just had.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was wild.
The pain that he caused himself.
Yeah. And I'm like, do you want me to use your headlight, dude? It's in my hand.
You still see him?
No.
What do you? I would have thrown that shit out.
That's one thing that I always, like, if I, on a motorcycle, I would never drink. Because I was already a moron anyway on it. I didn't anything to amplify that by a long shot.
Oh, my God, yo. I could never get a motorcycle. I remember when everybody had motorcycle fever at work.
Yeah.
You had a bike. Jamie had a bike. Price went and got a bike. Lopez got a bike. Lopez drove cross country.
Yeah, that's cool. This dude drove across country and back and camped on like side of the road.
Damn, that was crazy.
What kind of bike did he have?
He had what do you have? Victory?
Was that what it was? I don't know.
Was it a Victory?
Type of cruiser?
It's a cruiser, yeah.
Okay.
Cruiser, yeah.
You went to California and back.
On a sport bike? I don't know.
No.
He set up camp. He slept there. He went and he kept riding.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, it took him like 2 weeks.
I was gonna say
2 weeks.
It'd be cool to do like a Sturgis trip, but just thinking about how many hours.
Where's Sturgis?
Fucking Midwest.
Is that North Dakota?
Probably one of the Dakotas.
I heard that's dope though, Sturgis.
No, it'd probably be a good ass time, but
Never been there.
that's
Never
what
been
I mean.
to the Midwest.
A bike week.
Have I been to the Midwest? Where's
Yeah.
Chicago?
That's Midwest, yeah,
Okay,
in
I've been to
Illinois.
Chicago. Yeah, I never been there.
I've been to Laconia twice
Where's that?
in New Hampshire. I was the only street bike with thousands of Harleys. It was neat though. It was cool. My buddy got really drunk. He did some stupid things on his bike, but Jeremy.
I wanted a bike. My daughter, I respect her wishes. She was scared. She was scared of me having a bike because she thought that, I'd get into some kind of crazy accident.
Yeah.
And so, and then of course, when a friend of ours that worked at one of the Bloomfield Stop and Shop, he worked at the People's Bank.
Yep.
Cool dude. And I go to work. It was like a Monday. It was after the weekend, and I go to work and found out he got killed on the bike on Saturday night, and I was sad as shit because he was a nice guy. He was the assistant bank manager, and she looks at me. She's like, "You ain't getting no damn bike." I wanted to get one. When all y'all got bikes, I was like, I go to Tunxus. And
I love that course. That was a great course.
Yeah, man. And she was like, "Nope, don't even bother going because you ain't getting a bike."
My mom told me to get a bike, and I bought it anyway. I didn't care.
Yeah,
the first day I get that bike, because I don't want you getting it, I get it, I do a wheelie right in front of her. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh my god,
I'm riding the thing up in the air. I didn't care.
You're crazy.
Then Danny took her for a ride, and he hit some sand, wiped out down the street.
Oh my god.
He scratched it all up. That was my Kawasaki like 450 or whatever. I don't even know what it was. You remember that thing?
Dude, was that the Katana?
Katana, yeah, the Katana.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah, he ate shit like right away, dude. Like not even like 30 seconds in, he wiped out. I was like, yo, how does that happen, dude?
That's awareness.
Yes.
I mean, fuck.
He's too close to the curb and there's sand and just whoop.
No, I probably would have flipped my bike over too. Shit, I can barely ride a regular bike, let alone a motorcycle. Now they got these electric bikes.
I know.
What's that all about?
Those electric dirt bikes are pretty ill, though. If you ever see those things, those are not slow.
The dirt bikes?
Yeah, those electric dirt bikes, those things
messing with those.
Move.
I didn't even know it's dirt bikes.
Instant torque.
You seen the electric MotoGP bikes?
Check out those, but even check out like the electric trials bike, where they have like a course and they're going up like these weird ass obstacles. They pretty much gotta like bunny hop off of one tire.
Damn.
But it's like the electric bikes, obviously, instead of like the little 2-stroke or whatever, but they're cool. They can produce a lot of power, but obviously don't got the vibration like everything else.
Yeah,
like,
the sound,
fun.
like the feel.
Yeah, that's why, regular cars are more fun. There's a lot, you got.
It's more just electric,
the feel, the vibration, all that shit.
Jesus. Now nobody has a bike at work. Well, Kristen, doesn't she have that 3-wheeler?
Yeah, she has the slingshot.
That's a nice 3-wheeler that she has.
Slingshot, is that what it is?
2 in the front, 1 in the rear.
Yeah.
Polaris Can-Am, or it's just Can-Am. My bad. Yeah,
it's the other brand.
Slingshot is
Is it Polaris?
a seated one, like drives like a car.
Oh no.
Can-Am, you sit like a quad, right? You got the 2 in the front.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's some other name. It's not Can-Am, but
The Can-Am Spider.
is it a Spider?
I don't
It might be a Spider.
All I know is it's hot. And I was like, This is you for real? Because I remember
Yeah,
she
it's
used to have
dope.
she used to have the little I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know if it was a dirt bike or
Almost like an enduro.
but yeah, she has that. She's like, yeah, it's better than the car.
And she flies on it too.
I bet
She's wild, dude.
I bet
She's
is.
5'1" and flying on a motorcycle, dude.
Yo, that's crazy. But I wouldn't mind having one of those. But nah, I'm good. I'll keep my truck. Somebody hits me in that, unless it's a bigger truck. But no, it's been tell you, man, a lot of years, a lot of life. You know, and I haven't even gotten to the. You might have to have me again.
Listen, I was asked to ask you about 2 things, but one is you already know.
Okay.
The desk.
What desk?
The desk.
Oh, Jesus! I can't laugh anymore. My daughter's computer desk. Was it last Saturday? Dude, I was toasted. And
What kind of tolerance do you have, dude? Like,
what kind of what?
You have a strong ass tolerance.
For drinks.
Yeah.
But I wasn't just having drinks.
Okay.
You know, I was having a few other things. Anyway, I was really and I let Hilo out. She wanted to go outside in the back, so I let her out. And then when she came back in, I went to go back, and my daughter's computer desk was like right there next to the slider door. And I tried to go around it because I didn't want to run into it. And I don't know what the hell happened. And I, boop, and I hit, I like literally right on the little, you know how the computer desk, they got the big one where you put the computer, and then they have the small one where you put the mouse and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I hit. And not only did I hurt my stomach because I hit the damn thing really hard, I don't know if I landed on my butt. And that shit hurt. And I'm just laying there, and my daughter's like, are you okay? And I'm like, And I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. And then I'm thinking in my head that I hit my desk. And I'm like, oh, man, my computer desk is shot now. And I eventually get up and I sit in my recliner. Of course, my computer desk is right there. My computer desk was fine. Hers wasn't. And, of course, she's crying about it. And I'm like, you don't care about me? I could have died. I could have killed myself. And she's like, you're fine. Look at my computer. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll order you a new one. I wound up ordering her a new one. And I had to put it together. Where the hell were you that Monday?
Yeah, I smashed it apart.
Oh my God, yo. It wasn't that bad though. It was just the wood. They popped off and I didn't feel that bad the next day. But I.
Well, you didn't feel bad about.
Who told you to ask me that, Renzulo?
I don't remember. It might have been Joe. It might have been Joe.
Because I just told everybody about that. I gotta stop.
You like getting real fucked up. I like that. So give me the best stories.
I love it.
If you had to give me some best stories.
Oh my God.
Top memorable moment. Number one top memorable moment.
I had a question. Is it possible to like?
Want to take a piss?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. This episode is brought to you by W Gaming Fuel, the clean energy drink that keeps you focused, energized, and crash-free.
And because Dubby's sponsoring the show, you can get 10% off your order. Just head over to dubby.gg and use the promo code EWF at checkout.
That's dubby.gg, promo code EWF for 10% off your next order.
Fuel up, lock in, stay focused with Dubby.
All right, so let's after the break. I see you took your jacket off. Got a little hot down here.
Yeah, it got a little bit hot. Yeah. Well, let's see. Where am I gonna go with this?
So
I think I'll go with the.
Okay.
I was working. Me and my buddy. He worked in one store. I worked in another store, and he calls me up and he's like, let's go play some pool. We used to go to this place on the Berlin Turnpike, little dive bar down near Berlin.
Oh, those are the best there.
Yeah, and we used to go there a lot to play a little pool. That's where once in a while we would start off.
Yeah.
Before we trekked into another area. So I met him there 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. And oh yeah. And so we were in there and we're playing pool and drinking some beers, obviously, and a couple shots here and there. And next thing you know, it's like 7:30, almost 8 o'clock. And he was like, "Oh, you want to head over to Middletown, and see what's going on up there?" And I was like, "Whatever." I was always down to do whatever.
Yeah.
Called my wife with some little white lie about doing surveillance or something. That's one of the good things about my job was that there were times when we had to do employee surveillances where we used to watch employees and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was always a good thing to have in your back pocket when you can call your wife and say, "Listen, I got to do a surveillance tonight, so I probably won't be home till a little later." And then when I'd get home and I'd be like drunk or whatever, I'd be like, "Yeah, we stopped and had a few beers," whatever. But I said, "Yeah, let's go." So we took off, and I'm driving down Berlin, and I missed the entrance to, I think it was Route 9 going to Middletown.
Yeah.
And so I drove down a little further and did a U-E. And sure enough, whoop, PD, Berlin PD. And of course, I pull into, because there's no room on the Berlin Turnpike.
No.
So I pulled into this, what do you call it, parking lot. And my buddy's like, "You are so fucked, yo." And I was like, "Shut up, dude. Shut up." I was nervous. I was scared, obviously. Never had a DUI. Knock on wood. So he, by the way, had 2.
Oh, jeez.
And he had actually gone. He served like 3 months in jail.
Shit.
Yeah. For DUI. And I felt bad for him, but I was driving and he was with me because he didn't have his driver's license, obviously. It was suspended.
I've been there.
So cop, comes and he's like, you know why I stopped you? And I said, no, not really. He's like, you did a U-turn. Did you miss the no U-turn sign? And apparently I did. He's like, you want? No, he asked me if I had something to drink, and I said, yeah, I've had a couple of beers, and a couple of beers, pounding them. Anyway, he tells me to get out. He wants to do a field sobriety test. And, of course, I'm scared as shit because I'm drunk in the motherfucker. And so he does the nose thing. And, I basically passed that. That's too damn easy. But then he goes with the feet thing.
Yeah.
And That's where I failed. And I actually caught myself a few times going to the side. And he tells me to go back in the car. And my buddy is just going crazy in there laughing. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is so funny. He goes, what's so funny? I'm going to call my dad and tell him to come pick me up because your ass is going to jail.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, and that's funny? Why? He's like, hey, happened to me. It could happen to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are a dick, I don't even know why we're friends.
Because he's a dick. That's why he's your friend.
Oh, my God. Anyway, the cop comes back. Berlin cops. I love Berlin cops. Cop comes back and he goes, Mr. Vazquez, by any chance, are you taking any medications? And I said, I actually am, yes. And I told him what I was taking. And he's like, what are those for? And I said, diabetes. He's like, oh, you're diabetic. And I said, yes. And he goes, when was the last time you ate? And I said, oh, I think I ate around 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was 8 o'clock. Excuse me. And he goes, so you haven't eaten in almost 8, 9 hours or something like that? And I was like, no. And he's like, I'll be right back. So he comes back and he goes, here's a ticket for the no U-turn, for taking a no U-turn. Oh my God. He goes, there's a restaurant down the road. I suggest you stop there and get something to eat. And I'm like, thank you, officer. I'm terribly sorry. And my buddy's looking like an asshole.
Yeah, he's not laughing anymore.
He's not. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like fucking diabetes saved your ass again.
Yeah, saved you out of fucking getting a DUI.
Dude, that's probably the closest that I had been to getting a DUI. I was scared. I was literally scared to death, yo.
If you were religious, you're religious that night.
Oh, my God. I wanted to kiss that motherfucker, yo. For sure. If I was gay, I'd have kissed the shit out of him. Officer, I would. Never mind. But,
especially nowadays, like it's like from experience, it's a lot worse now. If you got one,
imagine.
It's a whole.
I can listen. My daughter's ex-boyfriend got a DUI only because the moron fell asleep in his car, but he left the keys in the ignition.
I hate that, dude.
And it's like if he had taken the keys out of the ignition, it would have shown that he wasn't driving. And
I don't get that.
Yeah, well, that's
like if it's now, right?
Yeah.
And you're drunk and your car's on because it's cold out.
Yeah.
And you fall asleep because you're comfortable, then you're safe. You can still get in trouble.
Yep.
It's wild, dude.
It's crazy, yo. And I mean, I've been pulled over before. One night, me and my buddy Todd, he lived in Higginham.
Oh, that's out there.
Oh, fuck, yes, it is.
Off Route 9.
I'm used to, like, the city.
Yeah.
He lives in a little East Bumfuck Higginham. And one Monday night football, and, of course, we're all over the place watching football and drinking, and I took him home. And he's like, why don't you hang out and play some video games? Back then, we didn't have PS5 back then. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, Atari?
No, we had, what do we have? Sega.
It was Sega Genesis?
Yeah, we had Sega Genesis and stuff like that. And I would go to his house and play. And then we'd piss over his balcony. Christ, yo. I asked him the first time I went to his house. I asked him, when he needs to use the bathroom. And he's like, oh, come on, let's go. And he takes me to his balcony.
He's pissed off.
I thought he was taking me to the woods. I was like, what the fuck? And we pissed right over his balcony. His mom's in the house.
Just pissing between a little Little grates
Oh
there.
my God, it's crazy. But so one day, Monday Night Football, I take him home. I'm taking him home, and we're at the stop sign about a block away from where he lives. We're gonna turn right, and this asshole pulls up beside me, and he gets out of his car, and he's like, "You pull over right now!" And he flashes his badge. He's a state trooper, but he's in plain clothes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "I'm a cop. Pull over right now." So I pulled over, and this dude looks like he's drunker than I am.
The cop?
Okay, yes. And he's laying out all this shit. He's like, "I've been following you for the last couple of miles, and you're all over the fucking place. You're zigzagging." And I don't remember doing any of that. Of course, I was drunk, but I could have sworn this dude was drunker than I am. So he tells me, he's like, "Where do you live?" I told him I was bringing my friend home. And he's like, I said, "But I got to get home." And he's like, "Where do you live?" I said, "I live in Hartford." And he's like, "Well, you're not going to Hartford tonight, buddy, because if you don't pull over, if you don't leave this vehicle, um, I'm going to track you down. I have your license plate, and tomorrow there'll be a warrant for your arrest." And I'm like, "Motherfucker." So he tells me to park. So I parked. I pulled up into this, I don't know, parking lot or whatever the hell it was. And my buddy was like, "Dude, just stay at my house." I'm like, "I'm not staying at your house. You don't know my wife. You fucking kill me." Anyway, he called his mom, and she came and picked him up because he was about a block away. And he's like, "What, are you going to sleep here?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to wait for a few more minutes, and then I'm leaving." I'm like, "I don't believe this asshole's going to do anything." And obviously he didn't. But I took off home. He was drunker than I was. I think I don't know, maybe he was
Swerving.
bobbing and weaving. He thought it was me.
Mistaken identity.
You know what I'm saying? These fucking cops, yo. But that was, I mean, listen, it's not as funny as as it sounds, but I'll tell you something. What happens when you're out partying and you get drunk and the club closes? You're hungry.
Yeah.
You want to eat. Well, you're always hungry. But and back then, 90s, these gas stations in Hartford, they sold fried chicken.
Oof.
Oh yeah. Fried chicken and JoJo's. JoJo's were like steak fries. These
Yep.
really thick steak fries. They were fucking good as hell. And imagine going home with a bag of fried chicken and JoJo's and then waking up on your couch with bones on your wrists.
That was a good ass night.
Oh my God, yo. My wife would get pissed. But I'd wake up and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Picking chicken bones off your chest.
Oh my God, chicken bones off my chest. My kids would get up. They were little. "You okay, Daddy?" "Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm better now.
Help me out with these bones, will you?"
I gotta take a shower quick.
Oh God, yo, my shirt be all greasy and everything. That's how I woke up a lot of times.
Sounds like a good
Oh
time,
my
dude.
God, yo! We used to have fun, and when I was younger, back in the '70s, late '70s, we used to go to clubs, nightclubs, and stuff. And of course, back then I didn't drive, so I walked, and I would walk along, from Park Street down to Main Street in Hartford.
Yep.
It's a long walk.
It's a long walk, yeah.
And especially when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just horrible. But you know what? It's funny because I used to live in the projects. Bellevue Square was one of the projects. One of the worst projects in Hartford. But when people know you, they don't bother you.
Yeah.
And back then, there was not a lot of the shit that goes on now. And I'd walk through, like one night I walked through to go home at Bellevue Square.
Where's Bellevue Square? Is that off of Park Street?
No, it's on Main Street in Hartford. It's all different now. They don't consider it projects anymore because it's clean and But when I lived there
In the North End?
yeah, in the North End of Hartford, probably the worst part of Hartford ever. And I'd run into gang members that were gangs.
Yeah.
With actual colors and stuff like that, and they all knew who I was. And
So you're stumbling back home?
they'd see me, hey, Jose, what's going on, bro? Hey, what's going on, guys? And keep walking, get into Bellevue Square, run into a craps game.
Craps game.
I had a few dollars left in my pocket, throw a few dollars down, play a little craps, win a few dollars. Sorry, fellas, gotta go. Oh, come on, man, let me get a chance to win my money back. Nah, man, I gotta go get some sleep, yo. Nobody would bother me. Nobody would take my money. Nobody would do any of that. I mean, there were bad people, obviously, because there's bad people everywhere. But no, nobody ever messed with us. We actually, Bellevue Square was actually a fun time when I was younger, 15, 16, and I used to get in clubs because I had fake IDs and shit like that. But we used to rob. Jesus, I hope this doesn't get wrong. We used to rob the train tracks.
Oh wow!
Bellevue Square was here, and then down the hill, past Windsor Street, were the train tracks. And with the train tracks, trains would come to deliver merchandise.
Oh, okay.
And if you got lucky, you got good shit.
Robbing the train cars.
Well, what happens is somebody will bust it. A couple guys will go down, bust the locks and shit like that. And then they'd send somebody to go and have the people. So, my door, somebody banged on my door. Yo, train tracks. Boom, you head down there, and they start throwing boxes at you.
It's like robbing an Amazon truck. You don't know what it is.
Nope. And one night in particular, I grabbed 2 boxes, and it was cases of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Oh, that's a fine back then when you're younger.
God, yo. And you know what? The funny thing is my mother loved Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. She would eat that shit with warm milk.
Warm milk?
Yeah, she would warm her milk, and she would pour it on it, and then, of course, the cereal would get nice and mushy. And shit's kind of good. I actually, enjoy it myself, and I still eat Frosted Flakes to this day. It's one of my favorite cereals. And we had Frosted Flakes for like at least a month and a half. So I sold one box for about $5, which back then, $5 was $5.
A lot of money.
Hell yeah. Got me a couple packs of cigarettes or something and a few beers, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. When I was a kid, I'm telling you right now, man. I don't know how I didn't wind up in jail or dead. Shit that I've done when I was a kid, besides drinking, That was passed on by my grandfather, by the way. My grandfather was a huge, not that I'm an alcoholic, because I'm not. I actually won a bet from my dad. My dad thought I was an alcoholic.
Would he bet you to like not drink for X amount of time?
A
month and you didn't do it? You're like, I'm fine.
I didn't drink for a month. And he kind of like was a little wary about it because when I used to smoke, obviously when I was younger, and he wanted me to quit smoking, and I said, okay, I'll quit smoking, but I'd cheat, and he found a pack of cigarettes.
Oh,
because he did my laundry. Oh yeah, well, it wasn't a bet, but I lost his trust for a while, and So when, we were talking, we lived in New Britain, and we were talking, and
where'd you live in New Britain?
I lived in New Britain 3 times. First time was in 80, yeah, 80. My mother lived there, and I moved in with her after a while. She lived on Sexton Street.
Sexton. That's on the east side. That's near you, Brian.
Yeah, Sexton Street. Yeah, and she moved to Pennsylvania, and I moved back to Hartford. And then years later, when I got married, 2 kids, 3 kids actually. We lived on Peace Court, which was
Where the hell is that?
That's where those apartments. They look like projects, but they were townhouses. Oh my God!
What side of town?
It's right in the same area. But it was across the street from this, down the street from Central.
Yeah.
Across the street from the cemetery there.
Was there Walgreens on the corner at that time? There was like I know exactly what you're talking about. Say the name of the
what the hell's the name of this?
Peace.
I lived on Peace Court, which was in the it wasn't a project. It looked like a project, but it wasn't a project. And some of them were nice, some of them weren't. But down the street from the plaza there, that
New Bright.
is that the U Bright Plaza there?
New Bright Plaza.
What is in the center?
That big package store was there, and the Chinese Spanish place was there, and before it was McDonald's, it was Roy Rogers.
Damn, I don't remember Roy Rogers.
Yeah,
on Martin Luther King Drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right near there. Yes.
You had those big ass apartment buildings right there.
Yeah, they were different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they had some gangster projects near there. Yeah.
Damn.
They were green, right? And they're all fenced in on North Street.
It was in that vicinity, yes. But it was it wasn't bad back then, just middle 80s, even though they broke into our place while we were in there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. My dad, I was at a friend's house who lived in the same complex, but he lived like, a block or so away. And we were at his house. We were having some drinks. And, of course, all my stories where I'm having drinks, they end up with me being drunk. So I get home and go to bed. Next day, my dad, like, were you the last one in? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, did you lock the door? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, come downstairs. We go downstairs, and my TV's gone.
Oh, shit.
The door's wide open. And my dad's like, that's how I found it.
How'd they get through the lock?
I think they had a key. I think it was one of my dad's friends.
Oh.
Yeah. My dad was a minister, and he had all these young thugs that would work for him and stuff like that. And
trust them too much, maybe?
Trust them too much. And because they knew exactly, what to do.
They don't want to bother nobody. They just want to take your stuff.
That's all they did. And they took a TV and a VCR. Back then we had VCRs.
VCRs, man, yeah.
But we had these little cups and saucers. They're like little ornaments. And they were on top of the TV, and they were laid neatly on the floor. They didn't want nobody to hear. And I was pissed because I'm like, my kids are here. What if one of my kids had come downstairs and spooked them, and anything could happen?
That's probably what's the biggest thief's nightmare is. You want to go in for like a TV or a radio. Like you don't want to hurt nobody. Like that's not your job. Like that's not what you want. There's some psychos that go in there like, if someone's here, I'm gonna kill them.
Oh yeah.
But I think most people that are thieving, they want a quick buck. I'm gonna go in there and take what I want and get out.
Yep.
They don't want no interaction with nobody.
But yeah, it was a scary situation, and So I was like, yeah, I think it's time for us to get the hell out of here. So we left Peace Court and moved back to Hartford. And then a few years later, we moved to Tremont Street.
Oh, which is,
well,
not.
It wasn't that bad. The house that I lived in belonged to the brother-in-law of this girl that I worked with, and he took care of the place.
Yep.
He would come in and he would mow the lawn, and the lady upstairs and her family were great. We lived in the second floor, and then this lady, weird lady, lived in the apartment downstairs.
The big three family.
It was a 3-family, but the apartment downstairs was maybe like a studio.
Yep.
And she was like, I don't know, some weird ass lady. We barely saw her, but we had fun there. It was great. The neighbors upstairs were great, and we used to have these little not garden, but backyard parties and stuff like that. Friends would come, and but then I don't know. I think he was getting divorced, and he started drinking more, and he stopped coming around more often. The grass was, and then the lady moved, and then this other lady moved in, and it was this white girl I used to love going out with the brothers.
Yeah.
And she was dirty as fuck, though. She was. And she would bug my wife about borrowing this and borrowing that. And of course, my wife would give her whatever. And she bought this beautiful black Labrador.
Ooh.
But she never took care of the thing. She would tie him up in the backyard, and he had this long ass leash, and he would crap all over the yard. That yard was immaculate until that dog,
shitting it up.
And then one morning I'm going to work, and there's a pile of fucking crap right outside my door. And I went upstairs. It was like 7, 8 in the morning. I didn't give a fuck. I went upstairs, I banged on the door, and I'm like, you got a gift on my fucking doorstep. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, sorry, just make sure you get it cleaned.
Yeah.
And then fucking drug dealers moved in next door, and they started parking in our lot, which was private, basically.
Yeah.
And one day, I told one of the guys, a Hispanic dude, and I'm like, dude, this is my parking spot. And he's like, all right, man, Jesus Christ. And what the fuck, yo? And I'm like, we got to go.
Is that when it started? That area started turning?
Started, yeah. And then when we moved, about 2 months later, they found a dead body in the apartment that I was in.
They actually found that dead girl in that same neighborhood.
Yes, and they caught the dude on Townley Street. The dude,
Townley, oh yeah, same area.
The dude was caught on Townley. My daughter was telling me, I was like, what? And I was like, wow. That was the last time I lived in New Britain, and I didn't want to go back to New Britain at all, ever.
You preferred Hartford over New Britain?
Yes.
Wow.
I think New Britain got a lot worse. I don't know how it is now, but I think it got a lot worse.
At that time?
At that time.
You think it was a lot of like Hartford runoff and gangs?
Probably. Yeah, probably. It was, I mean, the drug thing started popping up, and things were just like getting really, really scary. And I was more scared for my kids. I didn't give a shit about me. I mean, I survived a lot. I lived in New York, for crying out loud.
Yeah, seriously.
You grow up in New York, and you shouldn't be scared of anything, to be honest with you. And
especially like in Brooklyn.
Oh, and I loved living in New York despite all the shit. I tell you, when I was a kid, me and my uncle was about 3 years older than me, and he lived across the street from me, and one day he comes over to the house. It's like 8 in the morning. My mom's sleeping, my sister's sleeping, and he's like, let's go. And I'm like, where we going? He's like, let's just go. So we took off. It was summer, and we took off. And, obviously the beach is there, Coney Island Beach, and we wound up going to the beach at some point, and we didn't have bathing suits, so we took our clothes off. We were kids. What are we gonna do? We were bathing in the ocean
in your underwear.
In our underwear. Back then, the boardwalk was still around. I mean, there's still a boardwalk, but under the boardwalk was a thing back then.
Yeah.
Now the boardwalk is completely covered.
Is it?
Yeah, they got rid of it. There's a lot of shit that used to happen under the boardwalk.
I can only imagine.
Most of it was a lot of rapes and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, there was a lot of dirty dudes in there, yo. So we're walking under the boardwalk, and we run into this guy, and he's beating off. There.
The Phantom Whacker.
Yo, and we took off. We were like, "What the fuck?" This dude was like, "Yo, man."
What the hell is?
That was the first day I ate pizza, ever.
Okay.
Because
so a guy beating off, and he had pizza, and you remember both of them.
Yo, we were gone all day. All day, listen to this.
Hey, in that guy's defense, the ocean is very
yeah, so the chicks that are out on the ocean.
Yeah.
But we broke into the rides. Well, we snuck into the rides.
Okay.
And we got a couple of free rides before we were chased off. But we're down Neptune Avenue, and big street down in Coney, and we walk into this restaurant to ask for some water, and this big fat Italian lady, I'm assuming she was Italian, she had a really deep accent, and we asked her for some water, so she gave us some water, and we asked, what do you cook? Well, I asked because my uncle couldn't speak a lick of English. I said, what do you make here? And she goes, we make pizza, and I'm like, what's pizza? And she goes, you never had pizza? And I'm like, nope. And she's like, okay. She goes, you got any money? I'm like, nah, we don't have any money. So she's like, all right, no, don't worry about it. She gave us each a slice. Yo, I was in heaven, yo.
I bet.
Oh my God. After that, I didn't eat pizza again till I was like 13 or 14.
Wow.
But it wasn't the same pizza. This was straight up Brooklyn pizza. It was banging.
Oh, I bet, dude.
I still remember to this day, and I could never take that taste out of my mouth, and I've never had that taste ever again. I've even had Brooklyn pizza afterwards, and it's still not the same.
Is it because it was like super authentic, or is
Yes, it was back then. It was like, this was like early 70s, bro. I mean, my grandfather would go to the bakery, down the street, Italian bakery, $1 for a loaf of bread this size, and it would feed all of us, and that's what we had for breakfast every day: long bread with butter and some coffee. That's why when I was growing up, and no, kids are not supposed to have coffee, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I grew up on that shit.
I've been drinking coffee since I was like 5.
Oh my God. Hell yeah. And the only time we had a big breakfast was on the weekends when my grandmother would, fry us, an egg or something like that.
Yeah.
But nope. For breakfast we had coffee and bread. As a night snack after dinner, we would have hot chocolate and crackers.
Ooh.
Everybody would get 2 crackers, and my grandmother would buy these big cans of saltines.
Oh, the saltines, dude.
Yeah, and they had one of the cans had a female. She was like a gypsy. Looked like a genie, basically. And but the crackers were good, and the chick was kind of hot. But my grandmother would make authentic chocolate. She would buy dark chocolate bar. It's called Cortez, and then she would grind it. And she would boil the milk until it was hot enough to just melt anything. And then she would sit there, and then you'd get a piece of ball cheese, which was wrapped in this red thing, and you threw it inside the chocolate. That shit was
With cheese?
Yeah.
Really?
It was banging, yo.
Damn.
Then you save the cracker, because then once you finish the chocolate, the cheese would melt, and you could actually put it on your cracker. And,
Oh my God. Yeah. That sounds amazing, dude.
You don't see that anymore.
No, I didn't even know what the hell that was.
No.
That sounds good though.
No, I talk about it with old school Hispanics. Well, even Ellie knows about it, because she grew up on that. But that's how we grew up, especially in New York. Guys would be out hanging out in the corner playing dominoes or throwing dice, and Lahara. Lahara was the police.
Oh yeah,
because it was illegal. And there'd be fights. You took my money, motherfucker, in Spanish. Maricón, blah 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 blah. But it was fun. It was back in the days, yo. Those are the. He wants to make America great again. He should bring back those days, yo. Those days were great, yo. I miss my childhood. It wasn't the best, but we made the best of it what we could. And of course, my uncles, my grandfather.
I guess probably having a lot of family made it more enjoyable too.
Oh, without it. Listen, when my mother was 15, 16, something like that, my mother had 3 kids before she was 20.
Sounds like my high school.
All right. She actually had 4. One of them died. My oldest brother died. He was stillborn. And then it was me, and then my 2 other brothers. And I wasn't raised with them though. They stayed with their dad when my mother and him broke up. And when my mother and him broke up, she was pregnant. And my grandfather sent her to live in Coney Island, because that's where my uncle was. We always followed my uncle. My uncle Isidro was my mother's older brother. And wherever he went, we went.
Oh, okay.
And so he lived in Coney Island on 15th Street. My mother moved to Coney Island, and then she moved above my uncle. And then when my grandparents came down with the rest of my uncles and stuff and aunts, they lived across the street. So family was
That's gotta be cool.
family was right close by. And then of course everybody eventually split up, but it was good times. But anyway, after the pizza, I don't know where we wound up, but eventually we wound up back home about 4 or 5 o'clock. We were gone all day.
That's awesome.
So we started at my grandfather's. We went to my grandfather's house, and my grandfather was heated.
They just showed up.
We didn't have no phones, or we didn't have any. We could tell them where we were or whatever. They were worried. But they showed their worry.
Yeah.
They beat the shit out of us.
Oh, yeah?
So I went to my uncle's house. I got the worst of it. And it wasn't even my fault. My uncle was the one that, took me, basically. Kidnapped me. I should have just said he kidnapped me.
Nobody believed you. Like, no, you didn't.
So we went to my grandfather. My grandfather was like, you better go to your mother's house, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I will. And he smacked the shit out of me, wham. And of course I'm crying. And I'm going downstairs, and I go across the street, and the first person I run into is my uncle. And he beats the shit out of me because, And then I go upstairs to my mother, and before she hit me, she was like, oh my God. And she's crying, and she's hugging me and everything. And then, you little motherfucker.
After you're safe, let me beat you now.
Oh my God, yo. That's basically the gist, yo. Took off, yo. My uncle, God rest his soul. My mother, God rest her soul. And my grandfather, God rest his soul. They're all gone now. But it was back. It was good times. And then, and I learned a lot from them, especially to drink.
I guess it could be worse things.
God, my grandfather, this dude would down a bottle of Bacardi like water.
Ugh.
The problem with my grandfather was drinking was that he'd get abusive.
Oh,
And he'd beat the shit out of my grandmother or whatever. And my two other uncles, my older uncles, they would try to grab him, but he was he was a brute, man. My grandfather was a brute.
He's probably a smaller dude too.
He was about my height now.
Yeah.
But everybody had a ton of respect for him, and everybody was scared to shit of him. So, be careful what you do. My grandfather chased my grandmother's boyfriend from 16th Street to the train to the train station with a machete in fucking Brooklyn. And me and my uncle were chasing after this dude because we didn't want him to go to jail. He was going to kill him. My grandfather and my grandmother broke up.
Oh, okay.
And he moved back to New York, and he came to stay with I was living with my aunt at the time, and he came to stay with my aunt, his daughter. And my grandmother sent the kids, her kids, their kids, my other uncles and aunts, to go visit him. And they didn't know what they were getting themselves into, because they were supposed to be there for like a couple of days, and then couple of
weeks,
they were about to leave, and my grandfather's like, "Where you going?" They're like, "We're going back home, Pennsylvania." I'm like, "No, you're not." And they were scared. They weren't going to go anywhere. So then my grandmother comes back to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
And then he said to her the same thing. "Where you going?"
Like, no, you're staying.
Yeah, you're staying too. So she had already found somebody. This dude named Roberto. Yeah. And he would come visit her whenever my grandfather was at work. And my grandfather found out, and he showed up. My grandfather wasn't a stupid man. He was one of the smartest men in Puerto Rico when he was growing up. He owned his own business, and he did a lot of, he fished. My grandfather was a fisherman. He was a professional fisherman, man. This dude fucking hated to be woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning in the summer, fucking, when you have no school. But he needed people to help him, like me or my uncle, and my uncle would hate to go, so he'd wake me up.
If I'm going, you're going.
And because he would have like 5 or 6 rods. He made his own crab cages.
Yep.
And the crab cages hit the ground, they open up, and crabs crawl in.
Is that for like blue crabs? Or would you catch?
Once in a while, we would get blue crabs. Not a lot of blue crabs, just regular big crabs. They were big crabs. We ate seafood like 4 out of the 5, 6 days or 7 days a week, because we had fish, we had crabs, and we never went hungry.
That's good.
I went hungry when I went fishing with him, because he would bring a big thing of thermos full of black coffee with no sugar in it. And he'd be like, "Yeah, have some coffee." And I'm like, "Oh, I can't drink this shit. Drink some coffee." And I'm like, "Okay."
Scared to death of him.
Oh my God, my grandfather. Oh man, when he hit you with his hand, and his nails. You had these thick ass fucking nails. If he clocked you with one of those nails, you were done, yo. Oh my God, yo. But he was when he was sober and everything, he was cool as shit. But when he got drunk is when he
turned.
And I see, one thing I can say is as much as I've drunk in the past, and I don't drink as much anymore because obviously, I have to take care of my daughter, and I have to take care of myself. So, but I was never that way. Whenever I drank, I never got hostile like with my wife, or
Yeah.
Because I saw it. I used to watch my mother get her ass kicked by her boyfriends, or husbands, or whatever the hell you want to call them. And I swore I was never gonna do that. And of
It
course,
seems more common than we know.
oh, let me tell you something, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
But it still happens to this day.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
But I I never really beat my kids like that. Like I got beat. My mother would hit me. My mother cracked my head open with because all because I closed the door on my aunt's hands and broke a little finger. And my aunt screaming outside because she came to visit, and my mother's little sister. She came to visit, and I didn't want to let her in, so I closed the door. She had her hand in the door.
Oh,
yeah,
that hurts the worst too.
Oh yeah. So my mother came and she cracked me over the head with with one of her high heel shoes, and I was bleeding. And she's like, I said, Mom, I'm bleeding, and she started crying. Oh my God. She didn't take me to the hospital though. Sitting there, blood pouring down my, it'll close up.
Okay. You'll eventually run out of blood.
I was playing around with her one time. I smacked her by accident. Big mistake. Oh my God. She got pissed. She took me to the kitchen, turned the stove on, put my hand on top of it.
Torture.
Oh my God, dude, I'm telling you. My sister's the same. She would hit him with broomsticks. Shit. She threw my sister at me once. What the hell's that about?
A whole human?
Oh, my little sister. She's like,
sounds like you're messing with the Punisher.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you beat somebody with somebody.
Put your hand over the.
Oh my God.
Hey, is this hot?
She was out there with the punishment, and And the worst thing that she could have done with my sister, when my sister found $30, I think it was, or whatever, how much money it was. My sister was cleaning her room, and she found some money on the closet floor, and it belonged to my stepfather. And my sister made the mistake that all kids do when they steal money. They spend it with their friends.
Yeah.
And then their friends are the ones that rat them out. So I had stayed home from school that day, and the teacher calls, and they want to talk to my mother. I said, my mother doesn't speak English. So can you translate? Yeah, I can translate. So she says, they tell us that my sister came to school with all this money, and I told my mother. I felt so bad telling my mother this. And so my mother's like, what? And my mother found out that my stepfather lost some money. And that was the money. So my mother's like, tell him to put Felicia on the phone. So I said, can you put my sister on the phone? So she puts my sister on the phone. I passed the phone to my mother. My mother went bananas. And when you get home, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And blah, 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 and all this other shit. And what do you think my sister did?
Didn't go home.
Hell no. I wouldn't either.
She didn't go home?
Yo, school was out, and my sister wasn't home. An hour passed, and my sister wasn't home. So now my mother's worried. And I felt like saying to my mother, you shouldn't have told her anything. Should have just done it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get smacked, so I didn't say anything.
You stayed shut.
Yeah, but so she calls my family, my uncles, and my grandfather showed up. Everybody's like at the house. Everybody's all worried, and so it started getting dark, and we lived on Madison Street in Hartford, down the south end. And me and my grandfather started walking up the street, and we went through there was a funeral home. We went through the funeral home parking lot, and we saw my sister. She turned around. She was about to run. And I'm like, Felicia, don't make me chase you, because you know I'll catch your ass.
Yeah.
And my grandfather started hugging her, and he's crying. And so we bring her home, and she's scared. And, you know, my mother didn't hit her. My mother started arguing with my stepfather. She blamed him because he couldn't keep his money in his pocket.
It's always somebody.
Somebody got it.
Someone's gonna pay for this.
But oh yeah, the way my mother, we were scared of the shit of my mother. And yeah.
I feel like nowadays no one's afraid. I mean, it does sound awful, but without that fear from your parents, people do dumb shit without.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing. You know, you have to. I had to, even despite the fact that I hated how I got hit, and you know how my mother was sometimes, because she wasn't the best mom in the world, but she taught me, and she taught my sister. She taught all of us a valuable lesson.
Yeah,
and you know, none of us did what she did. You know,
I think you learn a lot from that, and
exactly.
I think nowadays people don't have that, and kids just don't respect their parents.
Nope.
I was terrified of my dad. I'm sure Brian and I was terrified of his parents too, because they were pretty rough too.
Well, my kids were scared of me.
I tasted ivory soap many times.
My kids were scared of me, but not because of me beating on them or anything like that, but because of the way I looked at them. Like I could.
Yeah, that's what you need, was a look. You don't need to do anything. You just need that fear, like, oh no.
God, we went to a store, and you know, when I was a kid, and we went to a store, kids would leave their parents and go to the toy section or go to this section or go to that, and wind up getting into some stupid trouble or whatever. You know how many kids I caught shoplifting at Stop and Shop, and bring them upstairs and then go get their parents, because you got to go get their parents, and if they're Hispanic or black, those kids would get their asses, and you're not supposed to let the parents hit them in the security office. But I was like, you know what? If they were little wise ass motherfuckers, get a couple slaps in before I say stop.
Couple slaps in. Couple slaps in.
But yeah, no, my kids. Where you going? No, right there. We grabbed the carriage, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know. My wife, on the other hand, was a little bit more abusive than I was, and I didn't know a lot of it until later, until my kids got older, when my daughter was telling me how she used to hit her and used to hit the boys, and I'm like, why didn't you fucking tell me? Oh, I didn't want, I don't want nothing. I wasn't gonna beat the shit out of her. I was just gonna tell her to knock it the fuck off.
Yeah.
Or, no. I'm not gonna let my kids get their asses kicked like that. No, I hated it. I hated it. I hated that my mother did it to me. I wouldn't do it to my kids. And I didn't do it to, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say I'm innocent in a lot of things. Did I ever hit my wife? Yeah, I smacked her a couple times. I didn't smack her around.
Yeah.
Sometimes she would piss me off. She would say the stupidest thing, and I would just haul off and smack her. Not beat her.
Yeah.
Smack her. And of course, she'd try to hit me back or whatever.
Turn to a pissing match here.
Yeah. But no, in no at no time does my wife say that I beat the shit out of her. If anything, she did more bad things to me than I did to her. Yeah. Well, I worked security for 8 years at First Security, and whenever she got pissed off at me, she would rip up my uniforms. and I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta go get more uniforms because I gotta go to work, and that's what she would do, stupid shit like that. Until she bleached my clothes once. Oh yeah, we got into this big ass argument. and she bleached my clothes, and I'd had enough. I was ready to whoop the shit out of her. If my, to be honest, if my dad hadn't been in the house, I probably would have went crazy because I was tired of it.
Yeah.
But
she's like, you're at your breaking point.
Oh my God, yo, she would always try me. She would try me a lot, and
I've heard that expression in so long. Try me, dude.
I'd leave. Once somebody told me that, do that, leave. Don't say nothing, just leave. Come back a couple hours later, and things would be cool. And then when the time came, it was time for me to just go, and I waited until my kids got older because I didn't want to leave them with her. Yeah. Now the boys, Tasha came to live with me. The boys stayed with their mom. And
that's David?
David and my son Joey. And Joey hates his mom. And he obviously doesn't like me that much either because I left him with her.
A little resentment?
Yeah. And we haven't seen him since 2016.
Wow.
Christmas of 2016. Yeah. It was the last time I saw him.
It's almost 10 years.
Yep. And I don't know where he is. I don't know, my youngest. He's my youngest. He's our youngest. She hasn't seen him in longer.
Wow.
And listen, I left him when he was 16. He was almost out of high school. I couldn't live with her anymore. I had to go. And
it sucks.
It does. But I couldn't take all of them either. Now, I would have, if she had told me, no, I don't want any of them, then I would have taken all of them. But I couldn't. I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
All I can afford was a 2-bedroom apartment. One for me, one for my daughter. My daughter wanted to go to college. The boys didn't. The boys either wanted to go to the army or join the military or do whatever the hell they wanted to. They were not big school guys. My daughter wanted to go to college, and I asked her, I said, you better off with me or you better off with your mom? Pros and cons.
Yeah.
And she did the pros and cons, and she cried because she loves her mom.
Of course, yeah.
Trying to take her away from her mom. I never said she could see her again. But she knew that the pros were staying with me. And
she's been here ever since.
She's been with me all her life. And then of course she got sick and she's still with me. And I don't care. I might stay by myself. I might be by myself for the rest of my life, but as long as I'm taking care of her,
you got purpose.
That's it.
I like that.
And that was the reason I waited till I was 50-something years old to buy a house.
I remember, yeah, you bought it later on. Yeah, you lived in East Hartford forever.
And the reason why I bought the house was for her. The house is hers, basically. The reason why I moved to Bristol was for her, so I could be closer to her, because when we lived in East Hartford, if I had to leave, drive all the way to East Hartford, it was a trek. I mean, it's half an hour. Obviously, it's not going to New York.
It's still half an hour, and an emergency is a long time.
Yes, it definitely is. And, the great thing about working where we work is that they give a shit about family. And that's one of the best things that I like, is that you need time off to take care of whatever, you get it.
Like if you have to leave right now, it's not a question. You just go.
You just go. And I never had an issue. And even to this day, Noemi tells me the same thing. If you ever need to go, just let me know, and I will tell you to go home.
Can't ask for more than that.
No. And, listen, I bitch and moan. We all bitch and moan about
of course. You've been there forever.
But we're still there. And
Yeah.
we'll probably be there for, for another 20, 30 years. Well,
No, I know.
I won't.
I won't.
I got 5 more years and then I'm gone. What up, people? Dude's back.
Dude's back.
I got to go to the credit union. But this is great, man. I appreciate this. I appreciate letting me unwind here.
Yeah, this is cool, man. Brian, you got anything else to add to this?
I just want to say thanks again for sharing your story and
no doubt. I mean,
time with us tonight.
I hope that
it's been good.
The funny parts were funny, and
no, it's been great.
You had a mix of everything, a little mix of funny.
Serious. I'm not drunk enough to start crying yet, but
okay,
maybe later on I will.
A little kumbaya later.
Part 2, we can get you.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I do a lot when I drink is I cry.
It takes a lot to admit, though. Like emotional. Some people are emotional.
I am very emotional. I think about a lot of things. I think about the past. I like people say leave the past in the past, but
the past who makes you.
Exactly.
It's hard to forget
It's hard to forget.
It is hard to forget. And then when you want to think good thoughts, you think about the good times you had in the past.
Yeah, and that makes you sad too, but in a good way. Like it's a happy sad. Like
because you haven't had any good times moving forward because you don't know if you're gonna have good times moving forward. But you had good times moving back. You had bad times too, but you try not to think about those.
Yeah.
And listen, I love my life. I love the way it's going now. It's going great. I got one of the best jobs around. Work for one of the best companies in the world. Even though there's a lot of shit that I don't, like doing or whatever, but it's still a job.
Yeah.
And as long as I want to get paid, I'm going to keep doing the job.
That's it.
And, I want to retire eventually because I'm tired of working. I've been working since I was 13. And I used to work in the tobacco fields.
Wow, yeah.
Try doing that shit with no lunch.
Yeah, work right through.
Oh my God. It was just, no. You got given a lunch break, but I had no lunch to eat.
You just sat there?
So just sat there. I would sit in the bus and people would watch me not eating and they'd be eating and they'd offer me food. But I was a kid and I'd be like ashamed to take the food and I would never eat, and then of course I'd get home hoping that there'd be something to eat and my mother hadn't cooked yet or whatever.
So you're starving beyond belief.
Starve until but I had to do something. I didn't want to go to school. I wasn't much of a school guy after 8th grade. I dropped out of high school. Well, I was in the 9th grade, but it was like 3 years. I should have been in 11th grade.
Wow.
And but then I got my GED. I met my dad. My dad been great. He's been a godsend. And he took me off the streets, and he's a foster dad. When I got in trouble, he became my guardian, and and
put you in the right foot.
Put me in the right direction, taught me a lot of responsibility, and he helped me out a lot. And and matter of fact, we just had his retirement thing, and I spoke on about him, and it's just, I told him, thank you very much for everything you've done for me and my family and your family, basically, because and if it wasn't for him, God, Jesus Christ, I'd probably be dead or in jail. He's basically the guy that helped me out. And this is a guy that was a stranger to me at one point. And, a few years later, I started calling him Dad because he was more like a dad to me than any man my mother had been with.
Yep.
And my own father, who I'm not going to blame him for what happened because he didn't take off on me. My mother took off on him. And obviously back in those days, this is the 60s, 70s, he was in the military. He went to Vietnam.
Oh, shit.
And we lost touch, obviously. You know, who knows? Maybe he did try to come back and find me, and
you'll never know.
But I probably have brothers and sisters out there that I don't even know.
Your extended family members.
Oh my God, yo. And yeah, would I love to go, especially go to his town, the town in Puerto Rico, where but I don't know if he stayed in Puerto Rico, maybe he moved to the States, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to find out, but listen, I stay with my kids.
Doing the right thing.
I wholeheartedly, and I took care of my 3 kids that I had with my wife. I supported my oldest daughter that didn't grow up with me, but I paid child support till she was 19 or 18. And I adopted my wife's older son.
Oh, that's cool.
When he was 4, and he took my name. My granddaughters, his daughters, both have my last name,
dude.
Dudettes. And now I got my son up here, David, with my 3 grandkids.
That's awesome, man.
And life is okay.
Life's good.
Yeah. So, and this was great.
Cool, man.
I really appreciate it.
I'm happy you came.
I'm happy you let me come, and then, whenever you want to do this again, let me know.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was cool, man.
Now, if you start getting big and
we'll bring it back out. We're bigger.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a manager or something.
That's right. That's right.
It's better than Johnny Carson. I always wanted to be in the Johnny Carson. I used to love watching Johnny Carson back in the day. Because he was funny, and of course his guests were funny all the time. And back then you didn't have much to watch.
No, I bet.
No cable, no nothing.
So I wanted you to, if you have anything, any life advice, any little morsel that you can give to the listeners and the viewers, what is one thing that you would tell them?
Live your life to the fullest.
You're not dead yet, but
no, but do what you want to do. You can do anything you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you different. I chose my path because that's the path that I chose. But don't let anybody tell you that you can't do this or you can't do that.
I like that.
Because that's only going to bring you down. And don't let anybody bring you down.
If you can't end on a fucking better note than that, man. That's powerful.
I mean, that's I live actually by my daughter's motto, which is live, love, laugh. And she says it all the time, and she believes it, and I believe it too. But listen to what's in here and what's in here. That's all you can do. No matter what anybody tells you, you can't do this. You can do whatever you want. If you apply yourself. And again, I know that I could have, but I chose not to for whatever reason. Whether it's got married young, had kids young, I don't care. I had kids young, but you know what? I got to enjoy a beer with my son. I got to enjoy going to a bar with my son. People have kids at 40 and their kids are like 18 and you're like in your 70s or something like that,
This guy's taking shots at me if ever happened.
Listen, kids are not for everybody, If you really wanted a kid, you would have had one.
Yeah.
Or you would have not had one yourself, but you would have made one.
Yeah.
And you could still.
Making's fun.
Oh, making is very fun. Oh, yeah. Tasha, if you watch this.
I'm gonna send it to her right away. There, that's the cue right there. That's the cue.
Where you at?
Thanks, dude.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was a good call right there. Dude, we're gonna put that in for the outro.